All right, guys. So it is Monday, September 26th. It's a new week. And this New York session, I actually took three trade setups. Going over the first trade I took was right around here. So initially, what I was looking at was, so I woke up and I saw how price just dropped. I did not expect this. This is just in 1 hour price dropped, created a big candle. And I was like, oh wow, okay, so we do have some price action now. And then I woke up and I saw this order block right here. And since we are so bearish, as you can see, my thought process is that I'm going to continue selling at institutional resistance levels, such as order blocks and more confirmations like that. So I saw this order block in here, which is also a breaker block, as we can see right here. It takes out the highs. If you go on a lower time frame, you can actually see it clearer. Takes out the highs, creates a breaker block formation. And also on top of that, we can see it as a retracement. So that's what I was looking at, this 1 hour order block. And I was watching it to see how price would react to it. And price shot up. It shot up without stopping. And then I was just watching to see, will price reject? And I noticed this order block. And I was looking to see if this order block will be respected. And so I waited. What is that? Why is there a fair value gap in here? I waited, and once again price came back and rejected off this order block. And then once I got a clean rejection, I entered around this area once I saw the rejection, and I placed my stop loss above the high, above this high. And I went for 1 to 2. And then my TP was hit. So that was my first trade. Basically, institutional resistance on a 1 hour, an order block, as well as a 15-minute breaker block, and a retracement, continuing the trend down since we are so bearish right now. And the reason why I didn't buy anything is because there was no break of market structure. So as long as there is no break of market structure, we can still continue to sell on bearish institutional resistance. Example, bearish order block, rejected. Bearish order block, the body's rejected. Price is just so bearish right now. And so yeah, that was my first trade I took for 1 to 2. And the second trade was AU. Now AU, what had happened was I saw DXY. So this is where price was at. Price was at somewhere here. So as we can see here, price was rejecting off this area right here, this 1 hour order block. And I was looking at the rejection, and I thought that this was a good support because price kept rejecting, as well as this can be considered a liquidity grab as price comes below these lows and pokes it in and grabs a little liquidity in there. So I was expecting for this to be a nice support to the upside. So I was looking at AU sells, and it was somewhere around, where's my replay button? It was somewhere around, it was this 1 hour order block actually. So I saw this 1 hour order block being formed, and I saw how DXY, so this is how I correlate majors with DXY. So as we can see, so we were somewhere around here. I ignore anything after this. So it was at this area where I saw price was rejecting off this order block. So I was looking for any nice sell setups on any of the majors. EU wasn't showing anything clean. It just had a bunch of consolidation. GU wasn't showing anything clean as well. So what I was looking at was, I'm actually looking at this trade setup, but it's 8 o'clock right now. Actually, never mind. Let me continue. I'll talk about that in a bit. So what was I saying? So I saw how AU had a 1 hour order block, and I considered it pretty clean. So I entered, and price, what did price do? I entered some, I entered from with this order block right here. And how exactly did I hit my stop loss again? Was my stop loss too tight? AUD USD. Oh yeah, price did reject. It rejected cleanly, as we can see right here, rejected. But then it came back to my break even. And as you can see right here, this is why there's nothing here, because it came back to break even. At 101, it came back to break even. And I saw how still DXY was rejecting off that area. And I thought, okay, I still like this trade idea. We're seeing some strong support in DXY. So I got in another sell at AU, which I should not have. And I got another sell. Where did I get this sell? 0.64939. 0.69939. Oh, it was at this right here, this 15-minute order block. So I saw how price was rejecting from DXY going bullish. So I assumed that AUD USD would continue bearish. So I entered at this order block. Price hit my stop loss. So what happened first was price hit my stop loss, and then I took an L on this trade and on this trade. So that was 2 L's on AU and 1 W on EU. In the end, if I did just held my one position, I would have hit TP and I would have been up, what, 2% for the day. But that's how it is. That's how trading is. You live and you learn from your experiences. So I ended the day with break even. Could have snagged a 2%, but that's fine. And so yeah, that's what's currently happening right now in the market. So AU, I don't see anything really clean, like nothing too clean. This is like a retail support and resistance area. But EU, same as EU, I don't see anything right now because of how price action is. Look at just how bearish it is. Preferably, I like to see some resistance back, retracement back to this order block. So it could be cleaner. It could be a nice order block with a retracement level up here. But as we can see right now, price is just consolidating and just, I think, going a little lower. I was looking at GU. I was thinking maybe this was a grab of liquidity of this trend line. And maybe get it, and then we see a 1 hour order block in here. And then maybe enter at the 15-minute order block up here. But as of right now, there's nothing high probability, meaning there's no 4-hour time frame backing up. Oh, actually, we actually see a 4-hour order block here. But there's nothing, this 4 hour is not even that clean though, because no liquidity is being grabbed. It's just, we can consider this liquidity grab, but if we go on AU and EU, it's literally just price coming down. Price coming down. Okay, let's actually, we could see, actually there is a 4-hour order block in here, which we could see some rejection. So I'll be watching these areas, but like I said, preferably what I would like to see is price come back up and create a retracement. This will be like a nice setup up here, but right here is just, it's 8 o'clock right now, and trying to sell right now would not be a high probability. Yes, it's a trade setup, but it's not high probability. So I'll have to decide, think about it. Is it worth getting in it? Maybe lower my risk in this entry, or or take this trade on one of my more conservative accounts. So I'll have to decide, but as of right now, this is what I'm looking at. I guess you can see GU. This is not high probability, like I said, but it's a trade setup. So that's it for this video and this weekly outlook. Hopefully we get to see price retrace back to some levels up here, so we could look for some nice sells. But maybe we might see price reject off this level. So that's it for today. I'll catch you guys in a couple of days, or when price action is better. Good luck.